Okay, I'm not gonna feel good making this at all. But so the screenshot you see is from Jeff Hardy returning to AEW. I'm not happy with this at all, and I've had enough of this dude. I've had enough of him. Okay, I've had enough of him repeating his mistakes over and over and over at 46 years old. Like, still hasn't learned anything about himself, about his own substance abuse issues. I'm sick of the sympathy that people are giving him. We just need to not worry about him. We just need to not have him in our lives anymore. He can't do this, okay? He can't. Jeff Hardy cannot do this. No. He can't. He's proven time and time again. I can count the ways, because I've followed his career since I was a kid. Okay, and I'm only 5 years younger than him, too. So we're pretty much the same age. Okay? If I was his brother, if I was Matt, I would have been like, no, you're not coming back to wrestling. You're not coming back to perform. You can do some backstage stuff. You can maybe train some guys. You can maybe do something like that. But no, you're not performing in matches because you feel too much pain from the matches, and then you need to medicate that pain. That's always been Jeff Hardy's problem. That's always been his issue for the last 25 years. Okay? Ever since it dates back as early as, it's exactly 20 years ago, 2003. That's when he had substance issues and WWE fired him. And then, not but 2 years after that, TNA Wrestling fired him for substance issues and no showing events. Okay? And then, in late 2009, what happens? Top of the world. He was the most popular that he's ever been. And he got a push. And he won titles in 2009 against CM Punk, who, I don't know how he'd be able to work. I don't know how Punk was be able to deal with this, because it really was life imitating art, or art imitating life, pretty much. Got in trouble with drugs again. 2 years after that, he gets in trouble with drugs. 4 years after that, he gets in trouble with drugs in 2016, right? Or in 2015, 14, something like that. And then what? And then in 2019, I think? And then a couple years after that, and then last year. This is just what's been covered in the wrestling media, mind you, about this man, about this boy who refuses to understand that he has a problem and that performing in wrestling matches and segments creates this problem that he has. And I hope that you can hear the disappointment in my voice, because it ought to be palpable. Because this was a guy who I'll never forget. And I did a j0elsuf Remembers on this, and it sucks for me to say this now. It sucks for me to say this, but 21 years ago, now I just kind of regret ever seeing that match he had against The Undertaker for the title. That ladder match. That 7-star match, because it really was a 7 freaking star match. Like you could tell. You could tell that Mark Calloway was like, yeah, this boy's going places. This man's going places. He's only 25 years old and he's doing matches this good against guys like me. Yeah, in 5 years, this man's a megastar. That didn't happen. A year after that, gone. A year after that. And then AEW just lets him back in. Oh, okay, you've done your little rehab. What does rehab do for this man? It does nothing. It's been documented that it does nothing. So why in the blue hell are we letting him back in? This man should be blacklisted. He nearly pulled his Tammy Sitch the last time he got caught drinking and driving. Or he could have. He could have pulled a Tammy Sitch and murdered somebody. Now, he didn't, and I'm glad. That doesn't make it right for him to come back to wrestle. It doesn't. I'm not saying that Jeff Hardy should be locked away for life, because no, absolutely not. He has a family. He has to take care of that family. And his family has to take care of him too. They have to take care of each other. So yes, he has to be able to do something to make money. But no, it's not going to be wrestling stuff. It shouldn't be wrestling stuff. It shouldn't ever be wrestling stuff. Because we all know now, it's very, very documented, that that will lead to drug problems. And I'm giving him till the end of this year. By 2024. By 2024. By 2024, oh, Jeff Hardy caught driving under the influence of alcohol, of drugs, of everything like that. I'm not insulting those who have substances. And keep in mind, I'm telling you right now, as someone who has dealt with substance abuse issues himself, I'm not insulting anyone who has substance abuse issues. All I'm saying is that if you are of sound mind enough to understand what leads to substance abuse issues, and you found the root of it, then why would you go back to it? Because it feels that good? No. Look. When I had sleeping pill problems 15 years ago in 2008, when I was 25 years old, I knew what the cause of that was. It wasn't school, it wasn't anything else that wasn't anything on the external that was causing that. It was me coping with loss and living with people who were important to me. If I live with strangers, I live with strangers. Then I'd know better. I live with strangers now. You know what I mean? So I know better than to take sleeping pills and have mood swings that would get them to call the authorities on me. And I don't want that, and therefore I wouldn't do that if I was living with people who I didn't know. But these were two guys who I was living with who I did know. So they got me to use because it was stressful dealing with them, because they would come to me with their problems, I would come to them with mine, and it was just not a good environment, right? It was an environment that led me to self-medicate myself, to self-medicate through that environment, okay? And with Jeff Hardy, for the last 20 years, it's been like that with wrestling. Is it because he likes doing the high spots? Probably. Because all those ECW guys who flew off all that stuff, a lot of them, the only exception who didn't use all the damn time was Tommy Dreamer, right? And maybe Mark Langston, or Mark LaMonaco of the Bully Ray. I like using the real names because it's fun. Or Tom Laughlin instead of Tommy Dreamer. Sorry. But no. If wrestling is going to drive this man to use, then he should not be in the business. He should be blacklisted from performing in matches and segments. Oh, but he's got Matt watching over him. He had Matt watching over him last year. That didn't help much, did it? No, it didn't. And when you're this old, when you are this experienced, when you're in your mid-40s, and you've had these issues your entire life, the last 25 years of your life, and you know exactly what leads to it, and the company you work for, the organization you work for, has lost because of those issues. AEW is really stupid to bring this man back. Like, they're really stupid to bring this boy back. Like, I'll never understand it. I will never understand it. No wonder MJF wants to leave so bad. No wonder he wants to jump to WWE so badly. If I were him, I would have dropped the title and left. I would have been like, yeah? You're gonna let someone 20 years my senior who's had probably 8 DUIs at least? You're gonna have him return? Guess what? That's an unsafe working environment. When you're working with people who have documented substance abuse issues, who could pull a Victory Road 2011 at any moment. And then you'd have to be part of that. AEW doesn't know what they're doing. Tony Khan doesn't know what he's doing. This is not going to end well. It's not going to end well. It's not going to be like what we think it's going to be. Okay? And this is another situation where I really, really sincerely hope I'm wrong, but I know I'm not going to be wrong. I know I'm not going to be wrong on this. And I don't like making these stupid predictions. I hate it. I do not like making this video right now. I'm making this video out of anger, out of frustration, and out of disappointment for a wrestling performer who I really enjoyed in my late teens and early 20s. And the first few times he had these substance issues, I didn't even know about it back then because, this was in the early 2000s and you didn't really know much. And wrestlers weren't as public as they are now. But when he was forced out of TNA Wrestling in 2005, that's when it started really transitioning to that. I said, damn, okay, well, I hope he's better. And then when he came back the day before my dad died, I was like, great, he looks good. He's going to be on a brand new start. And then in 2009, when he was let go because of drug issues, I'm like, okay, that's fine. He's coming back into TNA Wrestling, and maybe he's going to do better. But in 2011, when I saw Victory Road 2011, I was like, all right, well, he needs to learn from this. I think he's going to learn from this and let him take a year off or something like that, and he can show to everybody how much better he is and stuff like that. And then he had other drug problems in 2014 or something like that. I remember, or 13, 14, something like that. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that'll be better for him. Maybe Matt can help him because Matt had those kinds of issues too. And it's like, how many times can you turn the other cheek on this? You're going to run out of cheeks. I ran out of cheeks to turn. And now I don't care. And now I'm burying this motherfucker. Because he doesn't deserve to perform in wrestling if he's going to abuse every substance that he can see. If he's going to feel so much pain from doing matches. And keep in mind, this dude's 46 years old. It's only going to get worse for him. He's only going to want to self-medicate himself. He's only going to want to self-medicate through the pain even more. I just don't understand it. I don't. And it sucks to say it. It really does. Really does, man. Alright. I don't know what my next Buries is going to be on. Because I don't really like doing them, but I don't know what my next Buries is going to be. Probably on Vince McMahon, to be really honest. For doing all he can to set WWE back friggin' 10 years, 15 years. With his dumb bullshit. It's like, talk about knowing when enough is enough. Good goddamn. McMahon should have retired 15 goddamn years ago. Out of touch moron. Yeah, that's gonna be my next Buries. If McMahon does anything stupid between now and like the next month or so. Alright. I'm out. Thanks for listening. I hope I'm wrong about Jeff Hardy, but I'm not gonna be. I've lost faith in him. Yeah, it's like losing a friend. And I just don't like it. Don't like it. Alright. I'm out, everybody. Take care.